Hello, I'm Elizabeth Holmes and I'm a hypno-psychotherapeutic counsellor based in Darwin in Lancashire. But before that I was a teacher, so I know all the stresses and strains that are put on a teacher. In fact, I did actually suffer with a lot of stress. But I've learned a few really useful tips that I'd like to share with you today, just to help you to perhaps just take a look at things a bit differently. This technique is based on an impact technique by Danny Bolio from 2004. So first of all, you need to think about what the things in life that are draining your emotional energy. So I've just had a little think about the sorts of things that drain emotional energy in the typical week. So it may be your children draining your energy. So if you have children, when they're younger, you have to think about childcare and how that fits around work. If they're older, it's what they're up to. So whatever age your children are, they drain your emotional energy. And of course, work takes up an awful lot of time. And if it's a stressful job, as many of us are finding it is, then that takes up a lot of emotional energy as well. You might be doing some extra studying as well. There's always courses to go on, the next certificate to work for, so you might be doing some studying. If you're in a certain generation, not only do you have children, but you might have elderly relatives as well. And with elderly parents, you're either feeling guilty because you're not visiting them, or you have to run around doing things for them, or you're anxious about what might be happening to them next. So that's an added pressure. And then of course there's the household responsibilities, just the general running of the house, shopping, cooking, cleaning, you know what it's like. But I mean, I'm sure you'll have many more of those, but just imagine that those are your plates that you've got spinning, draining that emotional energy. So you get home and you just feel so worn out that you haven't got the energy to keep going. And that's what happens with stress. It's kind of a panic situation where you just don't feel like you've got the resources to draw on. So you have the finite amount of emotional energy, and this is it, okay? So once you've laid out what your particular demands on your time and energy are, work out where your emotional energy gets placed. So I'm going to start with work, because for most people that fills up a huge proportion of their day. So work might take up quite a lot of energy, and it might roll on into the evenings and weekends as well. But then children also demanding a lot. Household responsibilities, there's always plenty of those. Bit left for the elderly parents. Oh, and if you've got time to do that bit of studying, there might be a little bit left. Now, if you're doing this at home, at this point, you might want to think, oh, actually, I don't spend quite as much time worrying about work. You might want to just adjust the levels there. But when you're satisfied, you look at the different amounts of energy that you're putting into these different areas, and then you realise, where's the energy left for me? And it's actually not surprising that you feel exhausted and stressed out, because you haven't actually got any energy left for you. So it's important to generate some of that emotional energy by investing in yourself, doing something that's nice for you. So think about the things that you enjoy doing that make you feel better. So there you have a different set of cups here. So things, for example, that you might like to do: country walks. Now, if anybody's looked at my website, holmeshypnotherapy.co.uk, I'm very much in favour of country walks. Fresh air, exercise, looking at nature, a bit of mindfulness, all good stuff. So country walks is a good way of generating some of that positive energy. Any sort of physical exercise. I've chosen Zumba here, but it could be running, it could be swimming, anything that gets that heart beating faster. That's a good way of burning off the adrenaline that you accumulate from the stresses of your work day. So any physical exercise is a good one. Baking cakes. It's always a nice mindful activity where you can just focus on that one thing and you end up with a nice thing to eat at the end of it. These are just suggestions based on what I do, but you probably all have different things. Scandinoir, watching TV programmes with subtitles. That's a good way of completely getting absorbed into something else. So that's something that I choose to do, that you might be interested in other kinds of programmes. And guided relaxation, actually taking the time to stop everything and listen to a guided relaxation. That's a good one, and if you do need any more advice on that, do get in touch, because I've got plenty I can share with you. So now you've found out what you like doing, and remember you might have lots of other things, walking dogs, playing football, the list is endless, but take the time. It's very important to take the time, because you're obviously needing to do something for yourself. So this is the amount of energy that you can now spend, that you can gain, by doing some of these more positive activities. So country walks is a big one for me. I'm going to put a big lot in there. Zumba, only once or twice a week. Baking cakes, again, just a little bit. Scandinoir, probably more than is healthy. And guided relaxation. There we go. Now you might distribute yours in a different way. But then you now have all that extra energy that you can spend on those things that are drawing your energy. So out of all that, now you can think, right, from the guided relaxation, I've now got more time to spend with my elderly parents. Okay, so I can spend a bit more time and energy because I've had that relaxation time that recharges your batteries. Now I've watched that Scandinoir, I can actually do a bit more of this studying, which I keep putting off. Okay, so I've got more energy to do that rather than just vegging out. Now I've made some cakes. I'm going to have to tidy up anyway, so that's going to add a bit more energy to the household responsibilities. Now I've done my Zumba, I've had a good bit of exercise, I've got a bit more energy so I can play with the kids. There we go. So I've got a lot more energy to spend on those things that have been draining me, but I've also got a bit in spare, which is going to keep me happy and refreshed. Chin chin. So I hope you found that useful. Never underestimate how important it is to look after yourself. I know it's very tempting to put everybody else's needs first, but if you don't put your needs first, then you don't have that extra energy that will just help keep everyone else happy and you. Thank you for listening, and if you need any more information, just get in touch with me by going on my website, homeshypnotherapy.co.uk. I'm Elizabeth Holmes. Thank you. Bye.